Hello, everyone. The Nift 2024 first session exams, the first phase exams has just been completed. Very interestingly, this time it was conducted by NTA, a totally different authority. But having said that, I think they weren't short of having surprises, from taking away students' jewelry to asking them to come up with another admit card and coming up with really weird or very totally different GK questions. Nift has always maintained, Nift has been consistent this year also. For everyone who has written 2023, I think this will be almost a repetition of what has happened in 2024. So hello everyone, welcome to yet another live with THiNC Institute of Design. In this particular video, we would be talking through the Nift exam that was conducted today, Nift GAT section and also the Nift CAT section. We'd be discussing about how the exams went for three of our champions, they who have joined after the exam. We would also love to know in the live chat box how the exams went for everyone who is watching. Okay, so let me take this opportunity to welcome all three of you. Hello, Niranjana. Hello, Arshi. And hello, Anna. Okay, I'll start with a very simple question. How the exam went, Niranjana? So on a scale of 0 to 10, let's say 10 being the easiest or as expected, 0 being the toughest, how would you rate it on a scale of 0 to 10? How was the CAT and GAT section for you?
I would say 7.
7. Okay.
7.
Which one was easier? Which one was difficult for you?
The GAT excluding the GK was easy.
Okay, that's a very typically expected answer. Okay. Okay. Arushi, how was it for you on a scale of 0 to 10?
I actually would agree with Niranjana. It would be about 6 to 7, between 6 and 7 for
Okay.
me.
Okay. And Anna, how was it for you?
Still said 7, 6, 7, that range.
Okay, the panel is almost agreeing on even the number. Okay, I'll start with the GAT part. I think that's where it all started. GAT was the first section, right? So, Arushi, how was the GAT part? What were the things that were expected? What was unexpected? How did it go?
Personally speaking, most of the GAT questions was what I already anticipated it to be. There wasn't much of a change or any surprise elements. However, GK remains an exemption from that because it's a vast subject, first of all. So you don't really know where to begin and where to end with studying. So you can only do so much, and the questions as expected were from different areas, very unexpected sort of ones. But apart from the GK, I think the rest were manageable. If you had prepared enough, if you had done enough previous year questions or practice problems, the rest of the exam was manageable.
Okay, let's start with the English part. How was English for you, Arshi?
English is something that I always consider to be sort of my strong point. So English wasn't that bad for me. I could attempt most of the questions. The comprehension questions too were actually straightforward. There wasn't a lot of mind-boggling questions, so it wasn't very confusing as such.
Okay, Niranjana, how was it? How was the GAT part for you?
For me, just like I said before, the GK part was kind of tough for me. Just like Adishi said, GK is like a vast subject. You don't know where to start or anything. So I did try my best to learn and cover maximum portions from GK, but wasn't enough. And English, yeah, it was kind of easy because English for me also has been easy all these years. Even in school time and everything, English has been easy for me. So it was okay.
So were the passages long? Like, did you have enough time to finish it off?
Yeah, it was fine.
Okay.
It was time enough to
And
finish.
okay, and what were the kind of passages? Like, what was it related to economics or environment, biotechnology, AI? What was it?
One was related to the cricket. It was related to cricket.
Oh, okay. That's new. Okay.
The other one, I don't seem to remember about it.
Anything related to economics or environment? No. Okay. Chalo. Anna, how was it? How was the GAT part for you?
Obviously, as they said, GK was difficult for me.
Okay.
English and aptitude was easier. And
Okay.
arithmetic, due to my personal problems, like I didn't prepare enough, so I felt
Okay.
like a little bit difficult.
Okay. There were questions on polity, like DPSP, habeas corpus, and questions and all were there, Anna? In case of
Actually, I don't
GK?
remember it.
Okay. Okay, no issues. Were the questions on bio?
Yeah, politics questions were there.
Okay. And I think there were also questions on a little bit related to biology, like TB, typhoid, cold, influenza, and all. Okay.
Yeah,
That was all.
malaria pathogen, transverse malaria, like
Okay.
bacteria, virus, which one, like that, it was there.
Okay. Okay. Arushi, the arithmetic aptitude part, how was it in general for you?
Arithmetics was a lot better than I expected, honestly. A lot of the questions came from the same section or the same thing that they've concentrated on in the previous years. So I was able to attempt most of the questions in the arithmetic section, which came as a surprise for me also. But yeah, the arithmetic was far better than what a lot of us, I think, anticipated it.
Okay. Remember any of the topics, any of the questions, and not the questions, the areas from where the chapters names that you could recollect?
Profit and loss was asked a lot, and apart from that, there was simple interest and percentages.
Okay.
That was a lot of the area that was covered.
Okay. Great. And Niranjana, how was the reasoning part for you? Was it as expected?
Yeah, it was easy. Reasoning part was easy for me.
Okay.
Uh,
And yes, please.
no, it's fine.
Okay. And how was the time? Like, could you manage time properly for the GAT part? Usually they find it a bit difficult, Niranjana.
Yeah, it was fine for me. I could usually manage the time during the gap, but it was never a task for me, so it's fine.
Okay. Also, we heard there were a few issues in terms of jewelry and also the admit card, a couple of printouts that were required. So, what was it? How did your center also have the same thing? Did you also have to undergo the same torture? How was it?
Yes, we had to. We had to remove all our jewelries, gold,
Okay.
silver, plastic, whatever it was. We had to remove all our jewelries
Okay.
and the hair bands, clip, everything. We had to remove everything.
Okay. Okay. That's quite weird. But I think they hadn't mentioned it anywhere, right? There was nothing that
No,
was
no, it was
mentioned in
not
the
mentioned
admit card.
anywhere.
Ideally, it should have. Radha Agrawal is saying, sir, fashion GK, nahi aaya, GK base low. Okay. Time was perfect. Okay. So I think this GK is a constant factor in Nift. Everyone is agreeing to the factor. At least everyone can be happy about the fact that it was difficult for everyone. So let's see the one who has performed at least a little bit better will come forward a little bit more. Okay. But ultimately, then, GAT is an area which has lesser amount of importance, right? The amount of weightage that we have to that usually GAT gets is a lot more less compared to the other parts. So GAT only in case of B.Des, GAT only goes for 30%. CAT has 50% weightage, and then we have something that we favorite, situation test. It is 20%. Okay, we'll talk about that later on, but we'll come back to CAT. Okay, so CAT, the CAT part, 3 questions. How was it, Arushi? How did it go? The afternoon section.
The afternoon section, personally, I was a little bit tired afterwards because there was like a huge gap between the morning and the afternoon session. But apart from that, the questions were manageable. The time wasn't an issue for me personally. I could navigate through the questions and I attempted them the best I could. And my personal favorite would remain the third question, which was which was related to artificial intelligence and creating an illustration out of it. So
Okay,
that
can you please elaborate what the question was and how you did, just briefly?
so the question was to illustrate either a bird or an insect or a fruit that has been created using artificial intelligence, and then you had to name it suitably and also give out 3 of its unique features that you have come up with. So that
Okay.
was basically the question.
And you had a write-up part for it, for that question also?
Have a write-up part. We were just asked to demonstrate or just write down what we think the unique features were. So I think you could incorporate that in any way you wanted within the drawing that you've created. So it could have been very literal, or you could have made it more like a poster. I think it was up to us at the end.
Okay. Anna, how was the CAT part in general for you?
Part was manageable. Yeah.
Okay,
It is
you
minimum.
found enough time, you could give
Yes.
enough.
Yes, I had enough time to complete it. It was comparatively really easy, I guess.
Okay. Can you tell us the weightage? Like there were three questions. Also about the coloring part, was there any mention about using colors?
Actually, the first question was for 30 marks, second for 40, and the third again for 30 marks. And this
Okay.
year, there was no color specifications mentioned in the question paper. It
Okay.
was up to us.
Okay. Which one did you find the easiest?
I found third one easier.
Okay. The panel is quite democratic and agreeing very easily. Okay. Niranjana, come on, tell me. Tell me something different about CAT. How was it for you? You got enough time for CAT part?
For me, I started with the third one. Like just like others said, third one was kind more easier for me to start with, so I completed that. And since it was not mentioned, since not like about coloring, nothing was mentioned about coloring in the question, all the three questions. So I was a
Okay.
bit confused whether to color it or not. So I wasted a bit of time thinking about it.
Okay. The problem is that you have when you have too much of time. Okay. So I think that was the GAT part. Okay. So relatively, GAT was easier. I don't think there was time issue that wasn't there. Okay. It wasn't artificial intelligence. They asked to show the insect, bird, fruit artificially made in the future. Okay, that's a correction that Strawberry is saying. Okay, great. There was one more question. Can anyone recollect? There was something about a leaking tea cup or something that was non-repairable post tiles. How to use it? So, Niranjana, can you just tell me what that question was for cat?
It was about how like asking you to creatively show 4 different uses of any of the three. First one was leaking cup. Second one was non-repairable clock, a wall clock. And the third one, I don't recollect the third one.
Okay. Okay, great. And the first question about the digits, Arushi, can you just elaborate that question?
So basically, from what I can recollect, they asked us to choose any three numbers between 0 and 9. So you can either take them as Roman numerals or just the normal English numbers. And then you had to create any one of the three options that was provided for you. So you could create a play school or a public park or an amusement zone, something of that sort. So
Okay.
either one of those three you had to create using the three numbers that you have selected. That was the
Okay.
question.
Okay, great. So I think overall, the exam was relatively moderate, sort of easy, except for the fact that GK has spoiled your happiness. And also, I heard a lot of them are completely pissed off because there wasn't any fashion-related GK that was asked. So, okay, that is also quite disturbing. Okay, but the GAT part, thankfully, it was short. I think the time was enough. So that is also a good thing. But interestingly, there was a lot of biology that's being asked. Okay. And the cat part was relatively easier. The questions were easier. Okay. And NTA has sort of troubled the happiness by not clearly describing about the jewelry and admit cards. Okay. So you guys managed to get the second admit card printout. How did you manage?
Uh,
Arushi?
I had one on me, thankfully, but that was not the case with the photographs because I only had 2 photographs with me. And then in the afternoon session, they were like, okay, you need to provide an extra photograph from out of nowhere. So the instructions were very unclear, if I may say so, and it did cause a lot of mayhem in my center personally.
Okay. How did you manage? Anna, how was it for you? Like, did you get the admit card extra print?
Yeah, the second session when we got out of the hall, they said you need to bring admit card for the next session and also 2 photographs extra. Actually, we were given instruction to bring 2 photographs, one for the admit card, pasting in the admit card, and the other for the attendance sheet. So again, for the second session, out of nowhere, we had to manage to get admit card and other 2 photographs extra. So totally 4 photographs we needed. Then I called my hostel roommate. They took the scanned photo. Thankfully, I had one at the hostel room. So they sent me the photo. Then I went to the studio, took printed the photo. It was a hustle actually.
Okay. There are way too many things that you need to clear, not just the NIFT entrance exam. Okay. I hope at least the authorities will start looking into it from the next time onwards. It's not something that we expect usually from the NTA, NTA being the body that's been conducting a lot of exams like JEE, NEET, and all on a regular basis. That was quite surprising. Okay. Anyway, to everyone who's joined in the live chat box, please let us know what you feel about the exam and how the exam went for you guys also. I'll take a quick last 2 points from everyone. Assuming that you're getting a time machine and you have the option of going back 1 week before the exams again. Okay, we are sitting on 28th January. Tell me two things. What are the two things that you're going to do different? I'll start with Niranjana. Yes, please.
I would say I would look more into GK.
That's a no-brainer. Okay.
Bit more into GK, I guess. I look
Hmm.
more into GK. And I think I would focus more on my drawing. I was
Okay.
very much into this aptitude and all those stuff, so I couldn't look much into drawing past few
Okay.
days.
Good 2 points. Okay. Arushi?
Actually, I would also agree with Niranjana because drawing was something I kind of ignored while I studied or sort of prepared for the aptitude section because in my eyes that was the nightmare while the drawing was the one that was more manageable for me. And while time wasn't exactly a constraint during the CAT section, I did find myself sort of stumped for ideas at some point of time because I was out of practice this past 1 week. I was just so into improving my math or language. So yes, going back and doing drawing or practicing more questions from that section would have helped me more.
Okay. This is a very, very important point that she's highlighting, that considering the fact that the exam has different parts to it and different weightage to it, it's very important to know which part has higher weightage. So CAT is something that is exceptionally important in case of NIFT. So in life, whenever, whatever be the kind of exams that you're writing, you should get that weightage. That's very important. And the one that has higher amount of weightage should obviously give a higher priority. So that's the whole fund of ROI, return on investment. Okay. Just letting everyone who is in the live also know this. Okay, great points, Arushi. Anna, what different would you like to do in the last 1 week, please?
I would have studied maths actually better, like
Okay.
more, I guess. My preparation was not enough. I feel like it. Then, of course, drawing maybe. GK, I feel like I should have looked more on it, but it's quite unpredictable, right? So I might not look too much into GK. Like we have to know the basics, of course, but maybe more I'll be looking onto maths and drawing.
Okay, that's great. I think it's been quite an interesting examination. We had a lot of marathon sessions also that we had run in YouTube. We also had some of the Kahoot quizzes. Very interestingly, we have some of the Kahoot toppers also sitting in this particular live. Okay. But I think overall the experience was quite nice. The exam was relatively easy, but very important two takeaways that I would give is one, obviously, the importance on drawing the CAT part because it has higher weightage. Two, I would sync a lot with what Anna has said regarding the importance of aptitude. I agree that GK is important, but again, GK has its own limitations. So the return on investment is going to be very less. Like even if you're getting 1 week time, you never know what areas to focus on, right? So these would be the major takeaways. It's very, very similar. I'm getting very similar vibes to what has happened in 2023. So let's see what's going to happen. And when the first phase results are out, we'll start practicing post situation test also. Please note that we have our situation test, preparatory situation test and studio test workshop. CraftX is the workshop that we'll be conducting from February 23rd to 25th. Okay, it'll be purely online. So even before the studio test, situation test, and preparation starts, you can start preparing for all these things. Okay, it's always better to prepare much earlier. Any other questions, queries, and all of you who are watching has, please do not forget to DM us on Instagram, or you can post it below this particular video. Okay. To all three of you champions, thanks a lot. A lot of you have been doing a lot of traveling. I totally understand there are very few centers in Kerala. And you've just, I know you've almost rushed into the home and hostel and you've just joined. I hope you get a good night's sleep and you start enjoying from tomorrow onwards. I think your exams are all done, right? So I can see a lot of happiness in your faces. So thanks a lot for joining to all three of you. Okay, and to everyone who has joined in the live chat box, thanks a lot, everyone. Wish you all the best. Hope that you all get into NIDs, NIFs, and IITs in the 2024 year itself. And until we see you in the next session, thank you, everyone, and thank you, host.